Developing a resilient mindset is of paramount importance when it comes to achieving success in life. It can be likened to a hidden superpower that empowers you to persevere even in the face of adversity. Mental fortitude is the cornerstone that enables you to confront challenges head-on, maintain unwavering commitment to your goals, and navigate through difficulties with unwavering determination. This becomes especially crucial when your innate talents and skills alone may not suffice. In this video, we delve into the core principles of Buddhism and how they intersect with 10 habits that can potentially weaken your mental resilience. By embracing and applying these teachings, we embark on a transformative journey to fortify our minds, making them more resilient and better equipped to bounce back from life's most trying moments. Now, on to our video. Habit number 1 to address is cultivating a negative mindset. A negative mindset can be likened to a heavy cloud that obscures the inner sunshine of our happiness. This habit weakens our mental fortitude as it tinges every aspect of our life with shades of gloom and despair. When we consistently dwell on the negative aspects, we often overlook the positive occurrences unfolding around us. It's akin to wearing dark glasses that dim even the most beautiful moments. Prolonged negative thinking can lead us to believe that everything is inherently bad and that success and happiness are unattainable. This negative perspective can become a self-fulfilling prophecy, influencing our actions and decisions. It may deter us from taking risks or trying new ventures, as we convince ourselves they are doomed to failure. To overcome a negative mindset, we can turn to the teachings of Buddhism. One fundamental concept is mindfulness, which entails observing our thoughts without passing judgment. Instead of allowing negative thoughts to dominate, we acknowledge them and then consciously shift our focus to positive aspects. It's akin to clearing away clouds to allow the sunshine to filter through. Buddhism also introduces the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This practice involves directing warm and benevolent thoughts towards ourselves and others. Through regular metta meditation, our mindset gradually transitions from negativity to one of compassion and positivity. The notion of impermanence in Buddhism reminds us that everything, including challenging times, is subject to change, just as the good times are. This understanding equips us with a more resilient mindset, knowing that difficulties are not permanent. By embracing these valuable Buddhist teachings, we empower ourselves to break free from the shackles of negativity and foster a positive and resilient mind. Habit number 2 to address is the act of complaining about circumstances beyond our control. Complaining about matters beyond our influence can be likened to clutching a burning coal, causing harm to ourselves. This habit weakens our mental resilience by diverting our attention towards what is wrong, rather than seeking solutions. It's akin to becoming ensnared in quicksand. The more we complain, the deeper we sink into negativity. Buddhism offers insights into why this habit renders us mentally fragile and how we can break free from its grasp. When we complain, we tend to disregard the concept of impermanence, a fundamental concept in Buddhism that emphasizes the ever-changing nature of all things. Complaining often convinces us that things will never improve, trapping us in a perpetual cycle of discontent. Instead of viewing challenges as transitory, we perceive them as enduring problems. To break free from the habit of complaining, we can practice acceptance. Acceptance entails recognizing that life presents both ups and downs, and there are aspects beyond our control. It's akin to learning to dance in the rain rather than bemoaning the storm. Through acceptance, we unburden ourselves from the weight of incessant complaint. Buddhism also encourages us to channel our energy into areas we can control. It's akin to steering a boat during a tempest. We may not dictate the weather, but we can navigate our vessel by taking purposeful action where we hold influence. This transition shifts us from a passive complaining stance to an active problem-solving mindset. Furthermore, in Buddhist teachings, the act of letting go holds great significance. Letting go is akin to releasing a balloon, lightening our load by relinquishing unnecessary burdens. It does not signify surrender, but rather loosening our grip on complaints, creating room for positive change. By integrating these Buddhist principles into our lives, we acquire the ability to approach challenges with a poised mindset, embracing the impermanence of situations and directing our efforts where they can make a genuine impact. In doing so, we liberate ourselves from the clutches of complaint and nurture mental strength that propels us forward, even in the face of adversity. Habit number 3 that warrants attention is the act of withholding one's thoughts and emotions, which can be likened to possessing a treasure chest but keeping it securely locked away. This habit weakens our mental fortitude by preventing us from sharing our thoughts, feelings, and ideas with the world, akin to attempting to navigate a dark room without turning on the light, resulting in confusion and overwhelm. The teachings of Buddhism provide insight into why this habit renders us mentally fragile and how we can liberate ourselves from its constraints. In Buddhism, the authentic expression of oneself is considered vital for establishing a strong foundation for mental well-being. When we suppress our thoughts and emotions, it's akin to containing a fizzy drink within a sealed bottle. Pressure builds up, potentially leading to explosive consequences such as stress, anxiety, or a feeling of being overwhelmed due to unexpressed inner turmoil. Buddhism introduces the practice of right speech, which encourages truthful, kind, and mindful communication. This practice is akin to planting seeds of positivity, where our words can flourish into a garden of understanding and connection. By aligning our speech with these principles, we construct a bridge between ourselves and others, nurturing authentic relationships. To overcome the habit of not expressing oneself, mindfulness emerges as a valuable tool. Mindfulness is akin to a mirror, reflecting our thoughts and fostering awareness of our emotions. By remaining present in the moment, we can observe our thoughts without judgment and communicate with clarity and compassion. It's important to note that authentic expression encompasses not only verbal communication, but also nonverbal cues such as body language and gestures, which serve as a secret language conveying our feelings and thoughts, even without words. Being attuned to our nonverbal communication enhances our capacity to authentically express ourselves. By incorporating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we discover that genuine self-expression is not only liberating for ourselves, but also contributes to the well-being of those around us. It's akin to opening a window to let in fresh air. Expressing ourselves allows the light of understanding and connection to illuminate our mental space. As we break free from the habit of withholding our true selves, we embark on a journey toward authenticity, thereby constructing a resilient and empowered mind. Habit number 4 that warrants our attention is the tendency to blame others for our problems. Blaming others can be likened to attempting a race with a backpack filled with heavy rocks. It burdens us and hinders our progress. This habit weakens our mental resilience by robbing us of our agency, akin to surrendering the steering wheel of our life to someone else, relinquishing our control. Buddhism sheds light on why this habit renders us mentally fragile and offers a path to free ourselves from the blame game. In Buddhism, the concept of karma teaches us that our actions have consequences. Blaming others is akin to disregarding this fundamental law, refusing to acknowledge that we play an active role in the unfolding of our lives. When we blame, we become mere spectators rather than active participants in our life journey. Taking personal responsibility involves recognizing that we possess the capability to shape our own experiences. It's akin to becoming the captain of our own ship. We may encounter storms, but we can navigate through them. Blaming others implies surrendering control when, in reality, we have the ability to influence outcomes. To overcome the habit of blaming, forgiveness plays a pivotal role. Forgiveness doesn't imply condoning the actions of others, but rather freeing ourselves from the burden of carrying resentment. It's like setting down a heavy backpack, resulting in a sense of lightness and liberation. Forgiving others and ourselves represents a potent step toward reclaiming our personal responsibility. Mindfulness, a central practice in Buddhism, assists us in becoming aware of our thoughts and actions. It's akin to shining a light on a dark path, enabling us to see our way forward. Through mindfulness, we can catch ourselves when tempted to blame and instead choose a more empowering response. This shift from blame to responsibility can be likened to exchanging the rocks in our backpack for wings that enable us to soar. By integrating these Buddhist teachings into our lives, we empower ourselves to step into our personal power and seize control of our life journey. Breaking free from the blame game extends beyond holding others accountable. It entails recognizing our agency and capacity to cultivate a positive and resilient mindset. By veering away from blame and embracing personal responsibility, we embark on a journey toward mental strength and self-empowerment. Habit number 5 that merits our attention is the act of fantasizing instead of visualizing, which can be likened to constructing castles in the air, visually captivating but devoid of a solid foundation. This habit weakens our mental resilience because it disconnects us from the reality of our present moment, akin to pursuing mirages in a desert where the object of our yearning may forever remain out of reach. Buddhism provides insights into why this habit renders us mentally fragile and offers guidance on how to transition from fantasies to visualization for a more grounded and positive mindset. Fantasies often involve unrealistic scenarios and wishful thinking, akin to expecting to find a pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, an enticing notion, yet detached from reality. Becoming lost in fantasies is like daydreaming while missing the inherent beauty of the present moment. This habit weakens us as it can lead to disappointment when our imagined scenarios fail to align with reality. On the other hand, visualization entails creating mental images of achievable goals, akin to possessing a treasure map that guides us towards our aspirations. Buddhism underscores the significance of right intention and right action, which align with visualizing positive outcomes and taking practical steps to manifest them. By grounding our aspirations in reality, we bridge the gap between dreams and attainable goals. The teachings of impermanence in Buddhism serve as a reminder that change is a constant in life. Fantasies often involve clinging to a fixed vision of the future, whereas visualization adapts to the ever-shifting landscape of life. It's akin to riding a wave rather than desperately clinging to the shore, allowing us to move with the flow of life. Acknowledging the impermanence of all things nurtures a more flexible and resilient mindset. To overcome the habit of fantasizing, mindfulness emerges as a valuable tool. Mindfulness can be likened to wearing glasses that help us see the present moment clearly. It enables us to become aware of our thoughts and gently guide them towards positive and realistic visualization. Mindfulness allows us to appreciate the beauty of the present moment while actively working toward our goals. Incorporating these teachings into our lives encourages us to shift from fantasies to visualization, cultivating a more positive and grounded mindset. By embracing the principles of impermanence, right intention, and mindfulness, we break free from the habit of constructing castles in the air. Visualization becomes a powerful ally, aiding us in manifesting positive realities and navigating the journey of life with purpose and resilience. Habit number 6 that deserves our attention is neglecting personal relationships, which can be likened to having a garden but forgetting to water the plants. Over time, everything withers away. This habit weakens our mental well-being because as social beings, humans thrive on meaningful connections that bring joy and support. It's akin to attempting to sail a boat without wind. Progress may occur, but it's a slow and lonely journey. Buddhism provides guidance on why this habit makes us mentally fragile and offers insights on how we can nurture stronger connections by investing the gift of time. Neglecting personal relationships is akin to closing the door to a warm and welcoming home, where we miss out on the comfort and support that relationships can provide. When we don't make time for our loved ones, it's as if we're neglecting a garden, allowing the weeds of misunderstanding and distance to grow. This neglect weakens our minds as we may feel isolated without the nourishment of love and companionship. Building and maintaining relationships require time and effort, much like tending to a garden to make it flourish. To overcome the habit of neglecting personal relationships, we can begin by being present. Presence is like sunshine for relationships. It helps them thrive. When we spend quality time with our loved ones, it's akin to regularly watering the plants. It nurtures the bonds and strengthens our connection. Communication is another crucial aspect of nurturing relationships. It's like the wind that fills the sails of a boat, propelling us forward. Taking the time to listen and share our thoughts and feelings is akin to the water that keeps the garden of relationships vibrant and alive. By being open and communicative, we foster understanding and deepen our connections. Buddhism encourages us to recognize the impermanence of life, including the time we have with our loved ones. It's like savoring a delicious meal that we appreciate even more when we know it won't last forever. Understanding the fleeting nature of time motivates us to prioritize relationships and invest the gift of our time in those we care about. Incorporating these teachings into our lives reminds us that personal relationships are like the threads that weave the fabric of our well-being. By making time for our loved ones, we cultivate a support system that strengthens our minds and enriches our lives. Breaking free from the habit of neglecting personal relationships allows us to navigate the journey of life with companions by our side, making the voyage more joyful and fulfilling. Habit number 7 that merits our attention is the act of letting our emotions rule us, which can be likened to being carried away by a strong river current, where we lose control and direction. This habit weakens our mental resilience because unmanaged emotions can become overwhelming and lead us astray, akin to being caught in a storm without a compass, risking getting lost in the turbulence. Buddhism provides guidance on why this habit makes us mentally fragile and offers insights on how to develop emotional intelligence to navigate the currents of our feelings. In Buddhism, mindfulness is a powerful practice that encourages us to observe our emotions without being swept away by them. It's akin to standing on the riverbank and watching the water flow, allowing us to witness our emotions without being pulled under. When we let our emotions rule us, it's like being caught in a storm without an anchor, getting tossed around and struggling to find our way. The concept of emotional intelligence involves recognizing, understanding, and managing our own emotions while also empathizing with the emotions of others. It's akin to having a compass in the storm that helps us navigate challenges and maintain a steady course. To overcome the habit of letting emotions rule us, mindfulness becomes a valuable ally. Mindfulness is like a sturdy boat that helps us navigate through the waves without capsizing. By being present in the moment and observing our emotions with curiosity and non-judgment, we gain the ability to respond wisely instead of reacting impulsively. Buddhism encourages us to cultivate a balanced mind through practices like loving-kindness meditation. It's like planting seeds of compassion in our hearts that grow into a garden, enabling us to respond to emotions with kindness, both toward ourselves and others. By embracing emotional intelligence, we develop a skill set that empowers us to understand, navigate, and learn from our emotions. Incorporating these teachings into our lives allows us to break free from the habit of letting emotions rule us. Instead of being at the mercy of emotional storms, we become captains of our emotional ships, steering with mindfulness and compassion. By cultivating emotional intelligence, we navigate the seas of feelings with resilience, maintaining a steady course toward mental strength and well-being. Habit number 8 that deserves our attention is the act of trying to control everything, which can be likened to juggling too many balls, ultimately exhausting us and potentially causing us to drop them all. This habit weakens our mental resilience because it sets us up for frustration and disappointment, akin to attempting the impossible task of catching the wind. Buddhism provides guidance on why this habit makes us mentally fragile and offers insights into finding empowerment in the paradox of surrendering control. In Buddhism, the concept of non-attachment teaches us to let go of the illusion of control. It's akin to realizing that we can't grasp the ever-changing clouds. They constantly shift and elude our grip. When we try to control everything, it's like attempting to hold on to water, which slips through our fingers, leaving us feeling powerless. Surrendering control doesn't mean giving up. Instead, it means recognizing the limits of our influence. It's akin to planting seeds in a garden and nurturing them, but understanding that we can't control the weather. The weather may bring rain or shine, but our role is to tend to the garden with care. When we accept that some things are beyond our control, we liberate ourselves from constant struggle, much like releasing a tightly clenched fist. To overcome the habit of trying to control everything, mindfulness becomes our ally. Mindfulness is like a steady anchor that keeps us grounded in the present moment. By focusing on what we can influence and letting go of the rest, we navigate the seas of uncertainty with grace and resilience. Buddhism encourages us to embrace the paradox that surrendering control leads to true empowerment, akin to realizing that by loosening our grip, we gain the strength to face life's challenges. When we surrender the need to control, it's like opening our hands to receive what life has to offer, rather than clinging to our preconceived notions. Incorporating these teachings into our lives invites us to release the burden of trying to control everything. By surrendering the illusion of control, we paradoxically find empowerment, much like a sail catching the wind, propelling us forward with a sense of freedom. Breaking free from the habit of micromanaging every aspect of life, we discover the strength that comes from embracing the ebb and flow of existence. Habit number 9 that deserves our attention is the act of dwelling on the past, which can be likened to carrying a heavy backpack full of old stuff. It slows us down and makes our life's journey harder. This habit weakens our mental resilience because it keeps us stuck in what has already happened, preventing us from fully enjoying the present or looking forward to the future. It's akin to trying to drive a car while constantly looking in the rearview mirror, increasing the likelihood of missing what lies ahead. The teachings of Buddhism help us understand why dwelling on the past makes us mentally weak and offer guidance on how to break free from these chains. In Buddhism, the practice of mindfulness teaches us to be present in the here and now. It's like opening the windows to let in fresh air, clearing out the stuffiness of dwelling on the past. When we dwell on what's behind us, it's like trying to walk backward, risking stumbling and losing our way. By letting go of the past, we create space for new experiences and opportunities. Dwelling on the past also ties us to old wounds and grievances, akin to keeping a healed wound covered with a bandage long after it is healed, hindering us from fully embracing life. Buddhism encourages us to practice forgiveness, not just for others but also for ourselves. Forgiveness is like opening the door to release the past, allowing us to step into the present unburdened. The teachings of impermanence in Buddhism remind us that everything changes, akin to watching a river flow where the water never stays the same. When we cling to the past, it's like trying to freeze the river, causing it to become stagnant and lose its vitality. By acknowledging the impermanence of all things, we free ourselves from the chains that bind us to past experiences. To overcome the habit of dwelling on the past, self-compassion is crucial. It's like offering a kind word to a friend in need, and we deserve the same kindness. By treating ourselves with compassion and understanding, we break free from the self-imposed prison of regret and guilt. The past becomes a teacher rather than a jailer. Incorporating these teachings into our lives empowers us to let go of the chains that bind us to the past. By embracing mindfulness, forgiveness, and self-compassion, we create a path toward liberation. Breaking free from the habit of dwelling on the past allows us to step into the present with lightness and openness, ready to embrace the unfolding moments of our lives. Habit number 10 worth our attention is obsessing over others' opinions and actions. This habit is akin to lugging around a hefty backpack filled with the thoughts of others, burdening our minds and hindering our authenticity. It weakens us by tethering our self-worth to external judgments, much like a boat tossed about by every passing wave. The wisdom of Buddhism offers profound insights into why this habit saps our mental strength and how we can free ourselves from the chains of constant evaluation. In Buddhism, The practice of equanimity encourages us to maintain balance amid the ever-changing tides of praise and criticism. It's like standing on solid ground while the gusts of opinions blow. We remain steady. When we excessively fret over others' words, it's like constructing our home on shaky terrain, leaving it vulnerable to every passing storm. By cultivating equanimity, we nurture resilience in the face of external judgment. Assessing ourselves solely based on others' viewpoints is akin to allowing someone else to hold the mirror through which we perceive ourselves. Buddhism underscores the importance of self-acceptance and authenticity, urging us to wear our own clothes rather than trying to fit into someone else's wardrobe, expressing ourselves genuinely. Mindfulness, a pivotal concept in Buddhism, serves as a guiding light, helping us find our way back to our true selves when we are entangled in a labyrinth of opinions. By residing in the present moment, we can observe these concerns without getting ensnared by them. To overcome the habit of obsessing over others' opinions, self-love emerges as a potent antidote. It's like planting seeds of kindness within ourselves that flourish into a garden of self-acceptance. By recognizing our innate worth and embracing our unique qualities, we construct a shield against external judgments. Incorporating these teachings into our lives liberates us from the mental fragility tied to worrying about what others say and do. By practicing equanimity, embracing authenticity, and nurturing self-love, we break free from the shackles that confine us to external evaluations. Discarding the habit of perpetual judgment empowers us to steer our own course, heading toward a life led by inner strength and genuineness. The teachings of Buddhism offer a comprehensive guide to conquering habits that undermine our mental fortitude. By weaving mindfulness, compassion, and wisdom into the fabric of our daily existence, we can transcend negative patterns and nurture enduring mental resilience. This exploration extends an invitation to embark on a transformative journey, integrating the profound teachings of Buddhism into the fabric of our existence. May the wisdom of these teachings light the path to a resilient and empowered mind, inspiring a life filled with purpose, compassion, and joy. In our exploration of Buddhism's profound teachings, we've uncovered invaluable lessons. Mindfulness. The practice of mindfulness teaches us to observe our thoughts without judgment, allowing us to break free from the grip of negative thinking. Acceptance. Life is a perpetual ebb and flow, characterized by constant change. Embracing this impermanence with acceptance allows us to adapt gracefully to life's fluctuations. Authentic expression. Authentic communication is the cornerstone of genuine connections with others and ourselves. By expressing our thoughts and feelings honestly and openly, we relieve the burden of unexpressed emotions and cultivate more profound connections in our lives. Personal responsibility. Taking ownership of our actions and decisions empowers us to break free from the cycle of blame. Recognizing our agency and shaping our experiences allows us to proactively navigate challenges and setbacks with resilience. Visualization. Replace fantastical thinking with grounded visualization. This shift bridges the gap between our dreams and attainable goals, providing a clear path to making our aspirations a reality. Nurturing relationships. Our connections with others are like the threads that weave the fabric of our well-being. By investing time and effort into our personal relationships, we create a support system that strengthens our mental resilience and enriches our lives. Emotional intelligence. Developing emotional awareness through mindfulness and loving-kindness practices equips us to navigate life's emotional currents with grace and wisdom. By understanding, managing, and empathizing with our own emotions and those of others, we cultivate deeper and more meaningful relationships. Surrendering control. Recognizing the limitations of our control allows us to surrender the need for absolute mastery over our lives. By embracing the paradox of surrender, we find empowerment in letting go, steering our ship with flexibility and grace in the face of life's uncertainties. Letting go of the past. Dwelling on past experiences can weigh us down and hinder our progress. Embracing the impermanence of life and practicing forgiveness liberates us from the chains of regret and guilt. The past becomes a teacher rather than a jailer, guiding us toward a brighter future. Authenticity. Finding freedom in self-acceptance, equanimity, and authenticity liberates us from the constant need for external validation. As we weave these lessons into the fabric of our daily lives, we empower ourselves to build mental resilience that serves as a foundation for lasting inner peace and fulfillment.